Welcome to Level Up Learning, the podcast where we explore the intersection of education, technology, and gaming. I'm your host, Nguyen, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of virtual reality and how it can transform the way students learn. Imagine a VR game where students take on roles like miners, fighters, and dwarves, all while solving subject-related puzzles to progress. But here's the twist. This game doesn't just teach, it evaluates students on various aspects of their learning and provides insights for teachers to help them grow. Join me are two incredible guests, Dr. Ming, an expert in educational technology, and Zuong, a game developer with a passion for creating immersive experiences. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. I'm thrilled to be here and excited to discuss how VR can revolutionize education.
Thanks for having me. I've been waiting for a chance to geek out about combining gaming and learning.
Okay, let's start with you, Zuong. Why do you think VR is such a game changer for education?
Great question, Nguyen. VR can offer an immersive learning environment that engages students on multi-levels, cognitive, behavioral, and emotional. Research shows that VR helps students understand complex concepts by allowing them to interact with content in ways of traditional methods can match. For example, instead of reading about muscular bonds in textbook, students can use VR to build molecules in 3D space. This hands-on approach improves retention and makes learning more engaging.
That's incredible. Ming, as a game developer, how do you approach designing VR games that are both fun and educational?
Well, it's all about balance. The game has to be engaging enough to keep players hooked while also delivering meaningful educational content. With this project, an educational RPG inspired by Sword Art Online, we focused on creating challenges that integrate school subjects into gameplay while offering different classes like miners, fighters, or dwarves who craft weapons. Each class would have unique abilities tied to specific subjects. For example, miners might use geometry or physics principles when digging a tunnel.
Let's dig into the mechanics of this VR game idea. Dr. Zilan, what educational purpose should guide this design?
Well, the design should follow principles like embodied cognition, which improvises learning through physical interaction. With virtual environment, for example, players could physically manipulate objects to solve puzzle or simulate real-world experiment. Another important principle is contextualized learning situation tasks within meaningful scenario so students can see how their knowledge apply in real life. And don't forget immediate feedback is crucial for keeping players engaged and helping them learn more mistakes.
Ming, how would you translate these principles into gameplay?
I'll start by designing levels that progressively increase in difficulty to match players' growing skills. Each level could represent a different subject or topic, like history or physics, with unique challenges tied to that subject. For instance, a dwarf crafting weapons might need knowledge of materials science to forge stronger alloys. Meanwhile, fighters could brew potions by solving chemistry equations or understanding chemical reactions.
Here's something exciting. What if this game can evaluate students as they play? Dr. Zuang, how could VR games be used as an assessment tool?
Absolutely. VR games can track metrics like problem-solving speed, collaboration skill, and precision when facing a challenge. For example, if a student struggles with geometry-based puzzle as a minor or lack of teamwork as part of a fighter club, the game could flag this area for improvement. Teachers could then use this data to tailor intervention that address specific weakness.
Fascinating. Ming, how would you incorporate the evaluation system into game design?
So we would use analytics built into the game engine to monitor player performance across various tasks, like accuracy in solving math problems or creativity in crafting solutions. These metrics will be presented in dashboards accessible to teachers so they can see each student's strengths and areas needing improvement in real time.
That sounds amazing. But let's talk about potential challenges. Dr. Zhang, what obstacles might educators face when implementing VR games like this?
Well, one major challenge is accessibility. VR set and headset can be expensive, and not all schools have the budget for them. There's also the issue of teacher training. Educator needs support to effectively integrate VR into their lesson. Finally, we must ensure the content align with curriculum standards so it complements traditional teaching methods rather than replacing them.
Jimin, from a developer's perspective, what are some technical hurdles?
Performance optimization is key. VR games require smooth graphics to prevent motion sickness. We also need robust multiplayer functionalities since collaboration is essential in this game concept. And let's not forget user-friendly controls. If students struggle with navigation or gameplay mechanics, it will break immersion and hinder learning.
Oh, well. Before we wrap up, let's talk about the future. Dr. Zhang, where do you see educational VR heading?
Well, I believe we will see more personalized learning experience where games adapt to each student's pace and skill level using AI-driven analytics. Advance in immersive technologies will allow us to combine AR and MR with VR for even richer educational experience.
And Jimin, what excites you the most about this field?
The potential for collaboration is the thing that excites me most. Imagine students from around the world teaming up in virtual classrooms as miners or dwarves, solving global challenges like sustainable resource management or space exploration. The possibilities are endless.
Well, as we wrap up today's discussion on designing educational VR games that teach and evaluate student growth, what are your final thoughts?
Well, VR has immense potential not just for teaching, but also for exercising student progress dynamically during gameplay. It allows an educator to intervene early and guide students towards success. How about you, Jimmy?
For developers like me, it's exciting to create something that blends fun gameplay with meaningful learning outcomes while providing tools for teachers to help students grow.
Well, I guess that's wrap up our podcast today. Thank you for listening.